Hello, my name is Orca, and today I will talk about the Thar'Ga a little bit more. I covered the Thar'Ga in my first impression video before. Um, it was just the first impression. I didn't know much of the ship. Uh, I flew a little bit with the ship. I unlocked some notes and everything, and I tried to learn as much as I could about the ship and its mechanics and everything. So far, I'm pretty satisfied with the general idea of the ship. Um, I would be a little bit annoyed about the damage output and the regenerative abilities, but on the other hand, it's a new concept. It's a new mechanic. I don't think it's that easy to balance it out, so it's kind of useful for the paying customers as well. It's useful for the grinding customers. So I'm gonna be straightforward. It's nice ship. It's a good ship. It requires skill and playtime and everything in between to be able to unlock its full potential. I haven't been able to unlock his full potential because I'm kinda stuck on this mission here, as you can see. Meanwhile, I got Winter DLC pretty much for free, and with it I got this Aggressor skin, which is awesome. So this is how it looks like. So if you're wondering what's the difference between this skin and other skins, let me show you real quick. So you see the difference between the textures and then this. It looks like an armored Thar'Ga, so to say. It's stylish and everything in between. I even got this small present aerography because everything about this is a present to me. So so far, if anyone tried to get the Thar'Ga, you could have gotten it like 3 times so far. Before New Year's and a bit after the New Year's, before the end of the introduction when it first came out, and all the way up until, let's say, the 17th or so. And there was that what was it called? It was a task that required sending ships, random ships, um, with the gauge mission. So basically, you send a few ships and they come back after 10 hours, and they will give you 10 composite panels, and all you had to do is collect 200 composite panels and you get 10 of the parts for the cabin, what's it called, the alien fighter structure. So you pretty much get 10 of these. So it was pretty much possible to get it. As you can see here, I was able to get the ship really fast, like in the first try. So if you try to get it, well, any time in the past a month and a half, uh, you can clearly see here, you could have gotten like 500 alien composite panels and 30 alien fighter structures, pretty much enough for making the Thar'Ga. So I'm pretty satisfied with the overall idea of getting the ship. So there wasn't that much of a grind walls, to be honest, that uh, hindered any players in getting the ship in general. So that's one thing I'm pretty satisfied with. The other thing is the whole idea of the mechanics, the teleportation, the other buffs, passive modifiers, providing with some interesting buffs in terms of um, strafing speed, rotation speed, speed in general, So the mechanics in general are interesting. Uh, the static shield regenerator was one of my kind of a favorite modules so far. As you can see, it regenerates your shield almost to 1200 points per second. So you can, I think you can stack them up. No, no, you can only stack the combat shield regenerator. You can't stack the static shield. But still, if you equip these two items and you choose to equip one more, let's say combat shield regenerator, it's going to be a huge regeneration kind of buff, so to say. I don't know how to uh, classify it, because all the regeneration I've ever seen was from my friends that played engineers and everything. So uh, it's interesting how they made it so you are pretty much self uh, aware of your skills and abilities and everything, and also you don't need much help. Well, I think after the first nerf you're gonna need some help, but for this particular video, well, currently it's an OP ship, so to say. In a short kind of explanation, it's an OP ship. So other than the modules in general that go only for the Elysium ships, I'm interested in more Elysium modules like the alien intuition, missile reload, and stuff like that, because they seem to be really interesting in terms of a different kind of a mechanic. So this one is for extra damage, this one is for slowing down your target. The drones are interesting because they remind me of the destroyer module, uh, the drone module. It has the same kind of a mechanic. So you have a tiny little destroyer in a fighter kind of a role. So far, people complain about how difficult it is to go against this ship. Well, it's true. When you see the damage output of the two weapons that go for the Thar'Ga, the Thar'Ga cannon actually goes for any gunship in general. So you can see here the damage output. It has damage output for ships, regular ships, and destroyers. So it's double for the destroyers. So you get the drift. It can go pretty high in terms of amplifying the damage. So after amplifying all the damage and installing uh, the passive modifiers on the capacitor slots and perhaps CPU slots for critical damage, you will end up somewhere around, let's take the target talk launcher. You will have, like, let's say 5k damage on regular ships and 10k damage for destroyers. And when you combine that with alien intuition, which increases the main weapon damage by 70%, so you get 17k for destroyers and somewhere around 7 to 8,000 DPS on regular ships. So if you take that into account, if you take the general uh, aiming overcharge and combine the aiming overcharge with some uh, critical damage extra module slots, if you take the Predator Instinct and other modules, you can go really insanely high with the damage output in general. So far I've seen 30,000 DPS on Thar'Ga that was rank 15. Mine is just rank 9, and I'm stuck at rank 9 for the time being. But the rank 15 Thar'Ga has a ton of options. It's a really interesting ship, but it needs a little bit balancing before being a fully balanced out ship that can be used by everyone, not just the paying customers. I mean, literally everyone. So that's pretty much it for the ship in general. I'm really amazed of the general idea of the ship. Most people are annoyed, but well, for good reason. But still, uh, if they get to play it, they will see how it amplifies their skill. So if you have a low to medium skill set, let's say, you will learn some basics around the ships, learn a bit more about the general gunship role, and you will perform probably better with the other gunships, knowing how to exploit some weaknesses or strengths of your ship, and so on. So it's a nice training ground for those who are not aware of the gunships as a ship class in general, how to play it, how to behave in one, and stuff like that. So recently they have changed the general edit ship user interface. They cut down some of the nodes, the requirements and stuff like that. So it's easier now to get the nodes unlocked than it was before. Sadly, some people did pay a lot to unlock every node, but after the balancing of the first part of the requirements, they should have kind of waited for the first balance or the second balance attempt of from the developers, so they could have saved some money. But well, I guess it happens. So the nodes are pretty simple. So if you're wondering about the cost, the first cost will be somewhere around 5 xeno crystals for the first node, and it will go from 5 to 8, 12, then 15 and 18. For the time being, I have I have a 18 per node xeno crystal cost, so to say. Um, I think the most expensive node will be the last one, because it will require somewhere around 36, 40 xenocrystals per node, but it's going to grow as long as you unlock the nodes, so be careful which node you need. It's better to go for the nodes, just uh, go node by node and see what each of the nodes do, which blueprints you need. So you spend less xenocrystals than you should. I mean, if you want to unlock every node, that's fine by me. I'm not here to judge. But if you want to go on a economic kind of a way of developing the ship, you should probably think a few steps ahead on which node to unlock and which one serves your playstyle the best. I suggest to experiment. When you get to the rank 9, you will have the basic kind of view of how to play the ship, and from that point you will have the basic knowledge on how to proceed to the next tier. So unlock all the way to rank 9, experiment a little, see what goes better with your playstyle, and from that point on, just think about the next steps, the next nodes you will require, and just work on them. It should save you a lot of xenocrystals that you will need for the upcoming Elysium ships. So keep that in mind. Be smart about your nodes and unlocking them, which blueprints you need and stuff, because each bot unlocked blueprint or node or whatever will lead to a small increase per node in terms of prices. So just keep that in mind when you unlock stuff. It's going to be as more expensive as you go on unlocking stuff. So that's the only advice here I could give you. Don't go unlock everything because it's expensive and you won't need pretty much half of the stuff here listed. So don't bother unlocking everything because each playstyle is different, and simply copying somebody's build won't help you much unless you know how to play that build and you play that kind of a build before on other ships. So as for the Thar'Ga, this is pretty much it. It's a nice ship. It has a nice set of modules. They need a bit balancing. They will see balancing attempts from today and all the way to the near future. So stay put. Uh, be there to feedback the overall process of balancing out the ship. Uh, don't go disconnecting if somebody is really good at the ship and destroys your game, because you won't be able to provide any statistical data if you do so. So just stay calm and wait for the next balancing of the next issue that comes around, because the whole idea requires the activity of the paying customers, the grinding customers, the interested one and uninterested one in this kind of event. So we all participate in the feedbacking in a one way or another of this ship and every other ship that will come in the game. So it's inevitable. So you just might want to help on the feedbacking part. So we have these kind of problems less than we had before. So that's pretty much it. So if you like the video, subscribe, uh, comment down below what you liked about it, disliked. Well, in any case, comment and leave your impressions. I'm interested in your questions and everything in between, as long as it's game related. That's it. That is. So see you again next time, and probably I will have the rank 15 Thar'Ga, and I will be able to show you some tips and tricks on how to play one. So see ya.